Today,
It's Rio! It wants to kill us!
discover the most terrifying last rites. Rated R.
So here we go. I will not make a pick in this game, but let's preview the game that I will be at with Gus and Ginny. Big noon kickoff. We're headed up to the Cy-Hawk game as Iowa goes on the road to face Iowa State. Now, first and foremost, these games are always tight. This is one of the most underrated quality rivalries in all of college football, and I can't wait to get up there because, again, it's going to be a great scene. Ames, Iowa, underrated home field environment right there in Ames. I think Iowa State is a really good team, and now this is their third game. So they've already got a chance to have a couple of, I don't want to say marquee, but really quality wins here in the opening 3 games of the season. They played week 0 in
Boys, hope we're doing.
against Kansas State. They
Tell
got
me if
the
you can
win.
hear me.
Rocco Beck,
Sounds
their
all right.
quarterback,
Just doing some testing
experienced
here.
Guy, and he's a guy that made some plays down the stretch. Now, remember, in the offseason, I was questioning how they were going to replace Knoll and Higgins on the outside. Both of those wide receivers went to the National Football League, really quality players. So there's some question about their wide
Grettinger,
receiver
Rims,
play.
and St.
I think
Mary's
that
tonight.
remains. We're
It's a
gonna
big
find
game.
out
Let's
a
go.
lot about those guys as they take on Iowa and what always is a really quality defense for Kirk Ferentz and the Iowa Hawkeyes. But again, I want to go back to Beck. This is a guy that I think is one of the better players in college football, and in particular when it comes to crunch time. In fact, if you look back through his
Did
career,
Grettinger
he's
win
got
last week?
5 fourth-quarter comebacks. So there's a feeling around Iowa State that it's like, hey, just get us close. He's one of those guys that the entire program, the entire sideline, team, offense, all of them, they believe that Rocco Beck will make the plays necessary to win the games when it's tight late in the game. And that's a huge advantage when you're talking about playing a game that we expect to be a tight
All right,
game.
let's go look.
He made those plays against Kansas State.
My dad
They
went
got
to
that
Grettinger.
win. They won last week, and they're looking for their 3rd win and looking to go 3-0 here early in this season. Iowa State is a team that continues to build. Matt Campbell, their head coach, has done a terrific job at Iowa State. He's one of the better coaches in America, and he's had his chances over the last few years to actually leave, take maybe higher profile jobs, and he has not done that. Got a contract extension during the offseason. He has stayed there and built something that is really sustainable, and I got to tell you, I commend him for doing that. There's something, too, in this sport, not always leaving, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And now Matt Campbell is in a position where this is fully his program, all right? Everything that he needs and wants to be competitive
right
at
now,
the
making
top
sure
end of
everything's
his
sounding
conference
okay.
is right there for Iowa State. Now, are there challenges?
We're live.
Sure, there's challenges.
I
Is it
know.
a blue blood?
Feel
No,
bad for
it's
the
not a
blue
blue blood. But this guy understands what his philosophy is, how he's going to go about it. And so every single year, you're going to get a team that's really well coached. They're going to play extremely hard. And when they have the players, and in particular the experience necessary,
You got 6
this is a
people in
quality
here.
team that's hard to beat, in particular at home. Now, on the flip
TikTok.
side, let's talk about Iowa for a
Like
moment.
there's 2 people on
Iowa
YouTube.
with
I'm
Kirk
trying to
Ferentz
figure
has
out how
something
I
to
can
do,
get both
something,
of these
a
chats
chance
to show
to
up
do
in
something
here
historic
instead.
this week. Kirk Ferentz has 205 wins in his career, which is remarkable, by the way. You talk about consistency.
Okay.
Kirk Ferentz has been consistent. One of the few guys that actually is still in his position since I started doing this job. Almost everybody else is new. Guys like Kyle Whittingham, Mike
great
Gundy,
games
and Kirk
tonight.
Ferentz, they're the only guys that were in their positions when I started calling college football games 15, 16 years ago. And that consistency has paid off. So many quality years. Such a tough team to beat, and in many ways mirror Iowa State in the sense that you're always going to get a team that's fundamentally sound. They're going to tackle well. They're going to play hard, and they're going to play physical. And they know their identity. Their identity is going to be a physical, run-oriented attack on the offensive side. They're going to play quality defense, and they're littered with experienced players on that defense. In fact, as I'm going through that, I've got this chart. So I keep a rough draft of my chart, and I'll show it to you. If you're watching on YouTube or FS1, you will see this chart. So this is a rough draft of the chart. And so I have this chart, and I've got the lineup boards. You can kind of see it right there. It's hard on the white sheet. But I'm going through it, and I'm just studying as the week goes on. And you look at this Iowa defense, and you start to think, like, in the 2 deep, all I'm seeing is, like, okay, he's a 4th-year junior. There's a senior, 4th-year junior, 4th-year junior, senior, graduate, 5th-year guy.
Were you
They are
writing down?
littered with
no,
experience. So while
let's do
there
it. I
might
don't-
be new faces,
I got
from a
everything
starting
tested that I need to.
perspective, a lot of these guys. have been
See
in the
anybody who's